This is Brazil, a land where vibrant street markets feel more like cultural pilgrimages, where some favelas boast internet speeds faster than luxury hotels, and where nature doesn't whisper, it roars. Home to the legendary Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth, Brazil is a country bursting with color, contrast, and constant surprises. From its wild traditions to its jaw-dropping landscapes, this is a place that refuses to be ordinary. Today, we're diving into 15 bizarre and beautiful facts about Brazil. Facts that will amaze you and might just inspire your next adventure. 15. From the lungs of the earth to the celestial flag. Brazil is huge, over 3.28 million square miles, making it the fifth largest country in the world. That's 8 times the size of Texas and only slightly smaller than the United States. Its name comes from the pau-brasil tree, once as valuable as gold and Brazil's first major export. The country spans 4 time zones, borders 10 countries, and boasts 7,400 kilometers of Atlantic coastline, like a massive balcony looking out to the ocean. Its climate shifts from humid equatorial to tropical monsoon, and the flag is one of the rare few in the world to feature a blue celestial sphere. The 27 stars represent Brazil's 26 states plus its capital, and the motto, Ordem e Progresso, order and progress, reflects its 19th century dream of modernization. 14. Brazilian women when the heart takes the lead. Forget the cliches. Brazilian women are more than samba and carnival costumes. They live passionately, carry themselves confidently, and embody a beauty that is both strong and gentle. Their features are a vibrant mix of European, Amazonian, and African heritage, and their style is as natural as it is sophisticated. In towns like Goiás and Minas Gerais, women can outnumber men 6 to 1, making dating a surprisingly organized search. And yes, they're known for taking the initiative. They might invite you to a party, start the conversation, or, in some Amazonian communities, offer you a fish cake as a silent yes. Romance also weaves into culture. In Bahia, during the candomblé ceremony, unmarried women toss seeds into waterfalls, sending their wishes into the universe. And then there's the abraço, the Brazilian hug, a warm national tradition. Some even keep photos of an ex, not out of heartbreak, but gratitude for past love. 13. Favelas, where resilience meets tourism. When most people hear the word slum, they picture cramped streets, poverty, and hardship. But in Brazil, the favela, self-built hillside communities, tells a very different story. Here, life is simple but spirited, full of identity, music, and a fierce sense of belonging. A favela isn't just a poor neighborhood, it's a city within a city. Many have schools, clinics, shops, churches, soccer fields, bus stops, and even cafes with panoramic views of Rio. In Rocinha, the largest favela in Brazil, tens of thousands of tourists arrive each year for guided tours led by locals, cozy guest houses, and even public Wi-Fi faster than in some luxury hotels. In Santa Marta, the Tudo Decor pra Você project transformed the hillside into a massive rainbow mural, earning it the nickname the Santorini of Latin America, but with a touch more sunshine. And while the architecture might be rough around the edges, this is where Brazil's most iconic rhythms were born. 12. Samba, the soul beat of Brazil. If Brazil has a heartbeat, it's samba. More than just music, more than just dance, samba is the country's identity, its history, and its joy made audible. Born in the 19th century from a fusion of African drum rhythms, indigenous beats, and Portuguese melodies, samba grew from backyards and street corners into a national treasure.
In 2005, UNESCO declared it an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. There's no official way to learn samba. Brazilians absorb it from life itself. Family barbecues, weddings, birthdays, the drum starts and the feet follow. From the poetic lyrics of samba canção to the raw street energy of samba enredo at Carnival to samba de roda in Bahia, each style tells a different story. And then comes Carnival in Rio. More than 70,000 samba school performers spend half a year perfecting their parade, a half-mile explosion of music, color, and dance down the Sambadrome, with millions watching worldwide. 11. Gruta do Maquiné, when music touches ancient stone. 60 feet beneath the hills of Minas Gerais lies a world where time feels frozen, Gruta do Maquiné. This vast limestone cave, tucked away in the town of Cordisburgo, isn't just an underground marvel. It's a concert hall carved by nature over millions of years. Stretching 2,600 feet, with 7 chambers soaring like natural cathedrals, the cave's acoustics are so pure it feels as if the walls themselves are listening. Here, you might hear a lone violin drifting through the stone, a string quartet echoing like whispers from another age, or a choir's harmonies melting into the cool air. Golden lights play across stalactites and stalagmites, transforming them into silent spectators. Sometimes the space becomes even more surreal, hosting candlelit cocktail events, VIP gatherings, or intimate classical performances where every note feels timeless. 10. Brazil's most unique natural wonders. Brazil may be famous for carnival and football, but its landscapes hide some of Earth's most breathtaking and downright surreal natural wonders. At the Brazil-Argentina border, Iguazu Falls thunders with the force of Niagara times 3. With 275 individual waterfalls spanning nearly 2 kilometers, it's a roaring wall of water so powerful that travelers have been moved to tears. Far to the north lies Lençóis Maranhenses, the desert that defies its own name. Each rainy season, thousands of turquoise lagoons bloom between sugar-white dunes, creating a shimmering, otherworldly landscape where you can swim in warm, crystal-clear pools under a blazing sky. Then there's the Amazon rainforest, the planet's green lungs, sheltering over half of Earth's biodiversity. Here you can sleep in hammocks under the jungle canopy, drift down unnamed rivers, and listen to a symphony that hasn't changed in thousands of years. For something straight out of a fairy tale, Caracol Falls in Rio Grande do Sul cascades through lush forests, viewed from a 100-foot observation tower. From above, it looks less like a waterfall and more like a living painting, a moment in nature's gallery. 9. Salvador, Bahia State, the spiritual market of Brazil. In the heart of Salvador, the capital of Bahia, there's a place where commerce feels like a celebration. Mercado de São Joaquim, the city's largest crafts market, pulsing with Afro-Brazilian soul. For more than a century, over 250 stalls have filled these aisles with treasures, semi-precious stone jewelry, hand-embroidered silk scarves, carved wooden saints, and bundles of fitas do Bonfim, the colorful wish ribbons that carry people's hopes like tiny prayer flags. In Brazil, they're not superstition, but tradition, worn around the wrist until they naturally fall away, taking your wish into the world. Here, shopping is theater. Vendors greet you in billowing white skirts and head wraps with smiles as bright as the midday sun. Drums echo through the hall as someone breaks into a capoeira spin between the stalls, blurring the line between work and joy. And the food, the food, is a history lesson on a plate. Try acarajé, golden bean fritters sizzling in palm oil. Or moqueca, seafood stew slow-cooked in clay pots with coconut milk and herbs. Recipes born in the 17th century and still made the old way. 8. Brasilia, Brazil's capital, drawn on paper, alive in practice. From the sky, Brasilia looks like a giant airplane gliding across the Central Plains, a city born not from centuries of growth, but from a single, daring blueprint in 1960. Its streets run with geometric precision. Its government buildings rise in bold modernist lines. The Praça dos Três Poderes, Three Powers Square, houses the Supreme Court, the National Congress, and the Presidential Palace, the engine room of Brazil's democracy. Across the way, the Cathedral of Brasilia stretches its glass arms to the heavens, catching the light like a prayer in motion. By day, Brasilia feels formal, almost ceremonial. But as the sun dips over Lake Paranoa, the mood softens. The lakeside paths fill with cyclists, paddleboarders, and families sipping fresh coconut water. The neighborhoods of Asa Norte and Asa Sul glow with bars spilling MPB, Brazilian popular music, and electronic samba into the streets. And even the most serious bureaucrats loosen their ties to join the rhythm. It's a city that began as lines on paper, but over time, those lines have filled with laughter, music, and the easy heartbeat of everyday life. 7. Copacabana, the beach that never takes a day off. Copacabana isn't just a stretch of sand. It's Rio de Janeiro's living room under the open sky, where the Atlantic meets the city in a never-ending embrace. For nearly 4 kilometers, its golden arc is framed by Art Deco hotels, historic buildings, and whispers of royalty, movie stars, and explorers who once strolled here. But the first thing to catch your eye isn't the sea, it's the black and white wave-patterned promenade, a masterpiece of Portuguese-Brazilian design from the early 20th century, rolling like a stone ocean beside the real one. At dawn, locals jog along the curve, sip chilled coconut water, and read the paper beneath palm trees. By afternoon, samba beats float from kiosks, impromptu soccer matches ignite in the sand, and vendors deliver espresso or warm pastries right to your beach chair. And when Rio celebrates, Copacabana becomes a stage for the world. From New Year's Eve fireworks that turn the bay into a sea of light, to million-person concerts that blend music with the roar of the surf. Here, the rhythm never fades, and the tide always keeps time. 6. Rua Alzirão, Brazil's painted street of soccer dreams. In many countries, soccer is a sport. In Brazil, it's a heartbeat. And on Rua Alzirão in Rio, it's a work of art. Since the 1980s, every World Cup year transforms this small residential street into a living mural. Sidewalks and asphalt bloom with painted portraits of legends, Pelé, Romario, Ronaldo, Neymar, framed by flags, team crests, and bold, proud slogans. At its entrance, a massive white letter welcome reads, "Welcome to the most beautiful street in the world." There's no sponsor, no hired crew. Neighbors pool money, assign tasks, and spend weeks turning their street into a celebration of national pride. In some families, 3 generations take part. Grandparents sketch outlines, parents roll the paint, kids add team symbols. Homemade replicas of the World Cup trophy stand like golden sentinels between the houses. And every 4 years, when rain and time erase the art, the ritual begins again. Not because anyone tells them to, but because it's part of who they are. Rua Alzirão isn't just a street. It's a living reminder that in Brazil, the beautiful game paints more than fields. It paints hearts. 5. Coffee culture in Brazil, a cup that connects a nation. In Brazil, coffee isn't just a drink. It's a language, a ritual, a heartbeat. For more than 150 years, Brazil has been the world's largest coffee exporter, sending millions of 60-kilo sacks across the globe each year. But numbers aren't the story. The magic lies in how Brazilians make coffee part of their soul. They call it cafezinho, a tiny cup, dark and strong, with an unmistakable sweetness. That sugar isn't just flavor, it's affection in liquid form. You might be offered a cup in the most unexpected places, at a laundromat, a pharmacy, a bank, even in the waiting room before a dentist appointment. In Brazil, there is no wrong moment to share coffee. It's the ultimate gesture of welcome, an unspoken way of saying, you matter here. Every May 24th, the nation celebrates Dia Nacional do Café, National Coffee Day, not as a marketing stunt, but as a tribute to identity. Cafes host brewing competitions, streets decorate like festivals, and millions raise their tiny cups at once, toasting the drink that built cities, shaped traditions, and fuels conversations from sunrise to midnight. 3. The most festivals in Latin America, where the calendar dances. If any country lives in constant celebration, it's Brazil. Here, the year isn't measured in months, it's measured in festivals. Leading the way is Carnival, the planet's largest street party, where more than 5 million people flood Rio every February. For 5 straight days, the streets erupt in color, samba drums, and sequins as entire neighborhoods transform into open-air parades. Some spend all year preparing costumes, choreography, and floats for a performance that lasts minutes but lives forever in memory. Then comes Festa Junina in June, when city squares and rural towns alike trade the urban rush for country charm. Brazilians dress in straw hats and patchwork shirts, dance quadrillas around bonfires, eat corn cakes, drink hot sugarcane juice, and take part in mock weddings, all to celebrate harvest, friendship, and the simple joy of gathering. In Bahia, February 2 belongs to Iemanjá, the Afro-Brazilian goddess of the sea. Thousands dressed in white walk to the shore with flowers, mirrors, and combs, placing them in the waves as music spills from drums and the sun flashes on the water. 2. Cost of living in Brazil. Champagne lifestyle on a coconut budget. Living in Brazil feels like upgrading your lifestyle while spending only 40 to 55% of what you would in the US or Europe. In big cities like Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, or Florianopolis, a fully furnished one-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood near parks and supermarkets costs just $500 to $750 per month. Utilities, electricity, water, gas, and high-speed internet rarely top $80 to $120. Hungry? A mouth-watering churrasco barbecue with rice, beans, and fresh juice costs $6 to $10. Your weekly grocery bill for tropical fruits, fresh vegetables, fish, and local beef? Around $60. Public transportation is reliable and affordable, just $1.20 per ride, or under $45 for a monthly pass. Even the gym is friendly to your wallet at $25 to $40 per month, and a dental checkup without insurance runs only $30 to $50. All in, most people live well for $950 to $1,300 a month, about half the cost of major Western cities. With sunshine, fresh food, and vibrant street life included at no extra charge, the real question is, why wouldn't you move here? 1. Food in Brazil, a feast that never ends. Brazil doesn't just feed you, it seduces your senses. Start the morning with feijoada, a rich black bean stew simmered with pork, sausage, and even pig's ears, balanced with slices of fresh orange and garlicky greens. It's not just food, it's a family tradition, especially on Wednesdays and Saturdays when life slows down for shared meals and long conversations. By evening, step into a churrascaria, where waiters roam with sizzling skewers of beef, lamb, and chicken as long as a samurai sword, carving portions directly onto your plate until you flip the red card that says, "I'm full." Wash it all down with a caipirinha, Brazil's iconic cocktail of lime, sugar, ice, and cachaça, Simple, strong, and tropical in spirit. And don't skip the street snacks, pastel, crispy fried pastries, pão de queijo, chewy cheese bread, and fresh sugarcane juice served ice cold from a roadside stand. In Brazil, every meal is an invitation to celebrate, and saying no is simply not an option.